Hey guys, so just wanted to hop on real quick and kind of give a little bit of advice specifically to our newer phone flippers. Something that kind of everybody knows is that to be successful in phone flipping, you need to have cash flow. And a lot of you are starting out and you don't have too much money on hand, and that's okay. Not everybody does. That's completely fine. But one thing you have to make sure that you do is not get scammed. So it sounds like a hard task. It's not really, but you can't get scammed because if you're starting out and you already don't have too much money, you don't want to go ahead and blow that money on an instance where you're left with less money than you were before, and then you're thinking about getting out of the phone flipping game, and at that point, nobody's happy. So I'm just going to go over a few quick things to make sure that you're getting exactly what you pay for. The first thing is I do not recommend paying for people to ship you phones. So there are a few exceptions, but usually if somebody is telling you to pay them and they'll ship you a phone, usually that's going to be a scam. Usually these people are going to get you to pay through a means where you do not have any buyer protection, which means you do not have any recourse if they don't ship the item. Or let's say they ship you an item and it's not a phone, it's not what you paid for. At that point, they already have their money and it's very, very tough to get your money back. That being said, there are a few exceptions to this. I'll just go ahead and name them out real quickly. You can pay within apps like OfferUp or eBay, but you need to make sure you're paying inside of the app. Sometimes these people will contact you through the app and ask you to send them money outside of the app, and you never want to do that. You want to use the app's purchasing platform, and you want to keep all conversations within the app, and that's going to make sure that you have full buyer protection. This goes specifically for stuff like eBay and OfferUp. That's the two main ones that I've worked with in the past. Now you can pay people through PayPal to send you your items, but you need to make sure that you send through goods and services, and that's going to charge almost a 3% fee. But that 3% fee means that if they do not ship the item or if they ship the wrong item, you have protection. You can get your money back. You can file a claim. It's a little bit of a hassle, but PayPal is usually very, very good about giving you your money back. So I do suggest that if you're going to pay for people to ship you phones. Now, as you start to get higher into phone flipping, it's a great opportunity when people ship you phones, but by that point, you have more cash flow and you kind of know a little bit more about what you're doing. So if you're newer to this, I suggest only picking up phones locally unless you use the avenues that I stated earlier. You also want to make sure when you're meeting up with people, you're getting phones that work. So there are a few ways to test this, but you want to make sure all the basic functions of the phone work. Never just buy a phone without inspecting it. You want to inspect it, make sure simple stuff like the flashlight works. You want to record a voice memo and play it back to yourself. When you're holding the phone with the customer, try to record a video. Make sure that both cameras work. Just scroll through the phone, make sure there's no glitches. And then finally, make sure that the iCloud is taken off of the phone. You can go into the settings, and at the top of the settings, it'll say whether the iCloud is logged in or not. Make sure you click on that because sometimes it'll appear that somebody has signed out of their iCloud when they really haven't. That's rare. It doesn't usually happen, but I've seen it before. But you want to make sure that they're always, always, always signed out of their iCloud. Most people will go ahead and do a factory reset just to make sure that everything's good with the phone. But you never want to buy a phone that you have not verified to make sure that it works. You want to make sure everything works with the screen. Check the front, check the back. If there's a case on it, take it off and make sure there's no cracks. While this isn't going to leave you with a huge loss if, let's say, the back is cracked, that's still extra money that you could easily have in your pocket. So you always want to inspect the phone. If somebody is bringing you a phone and it's turned off and they act like they're in a hurry, that is not a good sign. You need to take your time, charge up the phone. This is always a good reason to bring chargers with you just in case, but charge up the phone and look inside of it, make sure it works. So you always, always, always want to make sure it works. If they're bringing you a phone that is not turned on, there is a very high likelihood that that phone will not work. So again, I cannot stress this enough. Make sure that you check the phone, and then you can make sure the iCloud is signed out, all of that. You want to always have a bill of sale. We have the bill of sales in our file section within the group. These always can't do too much for you, but they can help you out as far as you can hinder people from reporting phones as lost or stolen. You can identify who you bought a phone from if there are ever any issues with the phone. There are a few different reasons for a bill of sale, but you just always want to make sure that you have your customers sign one. And again, we have some of those in our file section in my phone flipping group on Facebook. That's the phone flipping A through Z group. I'm going to have a link to it in the description. But you always want to have a bill of sale, and if anything, that can help you intimidate a customer later down the road, not in a negative way, but let's say something's wrong with the phone and you did not know that. Well, you can bring them you can show them a picture of that bill of sale that pretty much says there was nothing wrong with the phone. You can't always have a recourse for that, but maybe you can intimidate them. Again, not in a negative way, but you want to get what you paid for. So that's another good reason for a bill of sale. Besides that, again, you want to check the functionality of the phone, make sure it works. And as far as spotting fakes, it's super hard to do that when you're a new flipper, especially for Samsung devices. For Apple devices, in my opinion, it's much easier. But you just want to play with the phone. You want to get inside of it, make sure that it works. Go to the App Store, make sure it's a genuine Apple App Store, all types of stuff like that. It's really self-explanatory, especially for iPhones, but you never want to buy a phone before you inspect it. If you're especially newer to the game, you might not want to buy phones that are brand new, sealed in box. In my opinion, especially starting out, you really probably want to open up that box, make sure the phone is in there. You might lose out a little bit of money, but you could potentially save yourself a ton of money just by checking to make sure the phone's in there. If you have repeat customers, you don't always have to check that, but especially if you're meeting somebody for the first time, if they're bringing you a sealed phone that's within the box, I personally would check it out just to make sure that it's real, it's authentic, you can turn it on, all that type of stuff. If you have any other questions about how to make sure a phone is real, what all to check with the phone, whether it's the speakers, the camera, anything like that, comment on this video or ask me personally your question, and hopefully I can get that answer out to you. But guys, again, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't, join my phone flipping group on Facebook. It's phone flipping A through Z. And if you're on Facebook watching this, then please subscribe to this channel. Give me some comments, give me some feedback, and let me know what else I can do for y'all. Again, guys, thank you very much. Bye.